Welcome back to another episode of Bike Talk with BikeLane. This is Bike Checks with Ed. I'm Ed, and this is the 2021 Momentum UX 3-Speed. So for those of you who don't know, Momentum is a sister brand to Giant. So it's going to be Giant, Momentum, and Live now that we have up on our channel. All the same company, manufactured under the same roof, engineered under the same roof. So this particular bike is a very unique bike. I really like this bike. So this is a hybrid bicycle. It's a hybrid because it's a mix between a mountain bike and kind of a flat bar road bike. So it's meant to do a little bit of everything. But the uniqueness of it is that it's a lot lighter than what it looks like, and it's a lot tougher than what it looks like. So beginning here with the frame, this is full Alex aluminum frame and fork, so it keeps the weight really light. The thicker tubing means that they use less material, so they put bigger tubes on bikes so they could use less material. So the 7000 Alex aluminum just going to be very light and stiff, but yet very lightweight. So jumping up to the cockpit here, Giant / Momentum gives you a 26-inch wide, 31/8 flat bar. So this is a straight handlebar. It has maybe like a 1/4 degree of upsweep, pretty much no upsweep. It's a flat bar. On these bars, we have ergonomic grips. They're Giant branded ergonomic grips, so they have a palm insert. The palm inserts help relieve a little pressure on your palms and on your wrists, so you can help spread out your weight a little more. With those grips, we have the Nexus N3 shifter. So we have a 3-speed rear hub, which we will get to. But up top, we have a grip shifter. So the shifter is halfway of the grip. So on the right side here, we have one shifter. On the left, we have no shifter. So on the left, we have a full grip. On the right, we have half a grip with a shifter. So the bike is still maneuverable. So the whole thing with the hybrid style bicycle is that you can get aggressive with the bike. So if the grip shifter is taking up half the grip, it still gives you plenty of kind of support. So if you still need to jump over some curbs or ride through some rugged terrain, you can do it no problem. Holding on that handlebar, we have a non-branded alloy stem. So this is a 7mm reach stem, which is a pretty short stem. So the shorter the stem, the more bike control you have. With this stem, it does give you a little bit of upsweep, so the flat bar kind of gets boosted up a little by the upsweep of the stem, so you can ride kind of aggressive, but also in a slightly comfortable position. And then on these handlebars, we also have the Tetra M275 hydraulic disc brakes. So you have front and rear hydraulic disc brakes. These are dual piston brakes. So with these brake pads, you have semi-metallic material on a 160mm steel rotor. So a hydraulic disc brake is going to give you consistent stopping power. You're going to have consistent feel all the time. You're not going to lose any pressure. And then if it's dirty, moist, wet, anything like that, your rotors are still going to feel the same. It's the same type of system that you would have in your car if you have disc brakes or a motorcycle. So it's a very strong, reliable system. So to keep this bike rolling, Giant gives you their Giant branded tires. This is a smooth tread tire up top. It does have some diamond cuts in it, but it's realistically just a smooth street tire. And on the edges, we do have knobs. The knobs are to give you traction when taking corners. These are some pretty sharp knobs. So these guys are going to give you lots of traction and lots of extra support when you're taking those sharp corners if you're going through any rugged terrain. These tires in particular are 27.5 by 2.10. That's the size of the wheel, which is right in between. So a 26-inch is going to be a little slower, 29 is going to be a lot faster, but less stable. A 27.5 is going to be fast, but stable. So on this tire, Giant gives you an aluminum double wall rim. This rim is going to give you a lot more support than a single wall rim, so this bike is meant to take abuse. And on this rim, Giant gives you a loose ball bearing front disc hub, but you have an axle. You have a solid axle versus a quick release. A solid axle is also going to make the bike a lot more rigid. It's going to make the bike a lot stronger and a lot more stable for doing any hardcore things. We skip the fork. Fork is full Alex aluminum, rigid, no suspension. Jump into the rear here. We have the same tire, the Giant 27.5 2.10, smooth tread up top, sharp ridges in the edge, same double wall aluminum rim, but in the back here we have the Shimano Nexus N3 rear hub. So this is a 3-speed bicycle. So inside are the actual gears. A lot of people are used to seeing derailleurs kind of hang here. There's no derailleur on this 3-speed bike. It keeps the look very clean. So you have internal 3-speed, and it's also a belt drive. There is no chain. This is a rubber belt. So the rubber belt is very low maintenance, and so is the internal 3-speed hub. So this bike, there's also a 9-speed version, by the way. The 9-speed version has a traditional derailleur with 9 sprockets on the back. This is the 3-speed version, which is the much simpler style bike. So this bike is a little less aggressive than the 9-speed. The 9-speed is going to give you more room to play if you wanted to go long distance or do some hardcore trail riding. This just gives you 3 speeds for moderate trail riding and some street riding. So the belt is very low maintenance, where you don't have to oil it up all the time like your chain or degrease it. It is going to stretch out maybe a little bit, not too much. You will have to retension that eventually. The 3-speed hub, the gears are very simple to adjust. They almost need no adjusting. The only thing that really needs to be adjusted over time would be the cable if it stretches out. And to drop your wheel, the chainstay has been risen up so that so that the belt has plenty of clearance. So if you ever need to replace your the belt, the chainstay is not going to be in your way. So because the chainstay is no longer in the way, Giant Momentum had to support the frame here by putting an extra support right between the down tube and the seat tube, because the chainstay has to move up. So it still keeps the bike very rigid. And then you have a 18-tooth sprocket in the back, and then up front you have a 52-tooth chainring in the front. I say chainring because this is only meant to work with a belt drive. You can never use a chain on here. So you would actually have to change out that chain ring. So it's a belt drive chain ring. And it's full aluminum spider. And in the middle, we actually have a plastic guide. It is surrounded by aluminum chain protector. So the chain is always protected. And then on here, the 170 mil crank, the spider is a 170 millimeter reach. So the 170 millimeter reach is kind of right in between the sweet spot of like a 165 versus a 175. So the 170 is going to give you some low end rotation, some quick torque, and then some long end push as well. And then you do get plastic platform pedals on here. These are definitely worth an upgrade. You would definitely have to upgrade these. These are very flat. They're wide pedals, which is very nice, but they almost have no grip and no traction. So if you're going to be getting aggressive on your bicycle, you should 100% upgrade your pedals on here. You also get 2 water bottle cage mounts. Traditionally it's 4, but on here you get 2. Not a lot of space down here because they had to put the support in the down tube. Up top we have a traditional seat post, alloy seat post. Giant does give you a pretty decent seat on here. It's 260 millimeters long and 150 millimeters wide. So it's padded. It's a foam seat, but it's not super hard. It has some padding on it, so it's a pretty decent seat. The only thing I would see definitely upgrading on here is the pedals, so you can continue getting aggressive on your hybrid off-road / street bike. This is kind of your do-it-all bike. You can ride this thing off-road, on-road. It's mostly going to be a street bike, but just off-road capable, able to take it some jumps and drops. Momentum did a really good job, and thank you guys at Giant for always supporting the hardcore riders. If you guys have any if you guys have any comments, don't forget to comment on the page. You can always give us a call, email, and don't forget to support your local bike shop.